Hello, my friends, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, Gran Turismoers. 'Tis I, prolific pincer, back again with another video. This one here is going to be a little bit more on the techie side. I'm driving the AMG. It's a Mercedes. It's pretty sporty, turns well, has a good history with GT racing. I suggest, if you have this car, to take it for a spin. Get on a good track that you like. Give it a spin. Okay, like I said, this one here is going to be a little bit more of the technical side of it. So, pay attention about how much you see my brake lights. I always brake hard, or the hardest, while my wheels are straight. That in itself is one of the biggest issues people have, is letting the car roll through the center of the corner. Now this one here, when I'm coming down, you see I hit my brakes hard, let off, and then let it roll. Go through the center of the corner. That's where you're going to keep your speed. One thing a lot of people don't understand, these cars, anybody can drive these cars in a straight line fast. The deal is how fast can you get through the corners, or the turns rather. Build up as much speed as you can, and way before you get into the corner, hit your brakes hard, just for like maybe a half a second, and then let off and turn the wheel and let it roll. You have to be able to let the thing roll through the corners. Wait till you're more than halfway through the corners or the turns before you start getting on your gas. Best thing I can tell you is wait till you're past halfway, a little more than past halfway in the center of the turn, and then slowly start giving it gas. And then as you accelerate, like right there, by the time your tires are pretty much straight, you should be all the way to the floor. You should be holding your gas full throttle. Like now, I'm full throttle. Sometimes I'll let off, like right there, I'll let off for a second and I'll get right back on it. On the tighter turns, it's easier and much easier to control in the corners when you brake harder and you let it roll through the center, and then wait till about right there, back on the gas. I'm already full throttle. Like here on these tighter turns, I might left for a second, get through the turn, and then go right back hard on the gas. Right there, I'm hard on the gas, get hard on the brake, let it roll, back on the gas, let off, let it roll, tap the brake just barely. You've got to, what's that grass? That's it. Caught a little bit of grass and it will, when you're under throttle, it will throw you sideways. Straight, hard on the brakes. Let off the brakes and then roll. Still rolling, barely any gas. Most of the time, the momentum these cars carry on those long straightaways are still good on these little short turns like that. You can let it roll. Now I'm back on the gas right there, back on the gas hard, full throttle, and then go. Biggest thing with these cars, you have to keep them straight as possible under braking. Let it roll through the center. You can, like what I'm doing, I am keeping 2 tires at all times on the track, even though half the car looks like it's off the track. It's actually within specs to where you will not get a penalty. As long as 2 wheels are touching the track, you will not get a penalty. You can cut the corners, like right, you let off the gas just for a second and get right back on it. The tight turns, it's easier to get through the tighter turns if you let off the gas just for a tad. Literally a tenth of a second. Get off of it, get right back on it. But sometimes I'm using a DualShock controller. The buttons are variable, so you can give it just a little bit of gas, or you can give it no gas. That's little things like that, the little technical stuff to where a lot of people need to concentrate more on is how to get back to the gas without spinning themselves out, to keep the momentum and the speed that they have so they can carry that down the straightaway and keep the space between 1 and 2 and so on. But also too, the ripple strips, the red and white strips on the side of the track. Those will generally as well tell you where to start braking and where to get back on your gas. You can use them for your judgment, so you know where your braking points are. That in itself will be enough to help you finish races and be consistent. Braking is one of the hardest things to master in this game. Braking is actually one of the hardest things to master in real life as well, believe it or not. You are taking a machine that weighs over 1.5 tons, speeding it up as fast as you can, and then slowing it down as fast as you can, throwing it into a corner and trying to make it stick. Be patient with yourself. You'll be okay.